to some extent, we must all have a connection to Brendan's lyrics. It wouldn't work if we didn't. The way that Jesse writes melodies and stuff, it really meshes with Brendan's lyrics. I think all of us have that connection and can relate to, grief.
When you picture the worst case scenario so you don't get your hopes up, that's kind of what I was doing lyrically with that record, where I was I really like all of these things. I think this is great, but I have this overwhelming feeling that they're not going to be around for very long. When I do lyrics, it's all right, well, where do I start this record where the last one ended?
For flesh not yet decayed. I wept when heaven let them die. The holier, the thief, the heavier we grieve. Hallowed be a martyr left alive.
Sweatless blood, and your eyes from pain. A satiated grain, stained by fate and false belief. I will fall. To the sky I pray, for flesh and decay.
the stare.
For you I reach, you are dead. Close your wall, and when you're a mind, waste no breath until you feel the sting. Chills and bleed, can't away the pain. That's what it was, you traded it for more. For you I begged, begged you were God. For you I begged, begged you were God. Shelter those who gather underneath my training wrist. Shouting from the skies, unwinding of a stair. For you I reach, you are there. Shelter those who gather underneath my training wrist. When living lives disfigured, I reach for you, and you are there. You are there.
I remember when we were coming up with the idea of like the stage setup and everything, we were just kind of throwing ideas around and like what we can do. And yeah, we just kind of landed on religious imagery and stuff like that. I didn't grow up religious at all. Like my family is pretty like, you know, non-secular or whatever, but the imagery's always been super interesting to me.
Kyle would mock up a digital render of what is possible, and then we'd see what we can buy or what we'd have to build or what Kyle would build.
Yeah, I just was in way over my head. So it was like me and my dad just in my garage for 2 weeks, just being like, oh shit. I had to like smash all of the mirrors out, got plexiglass, got like window film, and then just kind of like cut it with like a saw to make sure it fit in the frame and like glue it all in.
At one point, I was really pushing heavily for a fountain
Oh yeah.
that we would bring. Oh my God, a fountain, and we would, you know, we'd run it and then put like red food coloring in it. So like, yeah, just fountains of blood on stage.
Fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fondue.
But what Kyle made, fucking, it's more than we could have conjured up.
It ended up being really cool. I remember that line and like writing it and showing Will, and he's just like, that's fucking sick. When somebody's like supposed to be good and perfect and, you know, they never make a mistake, like when they're the one that takes something from you, like it hurts more. To this guy, I prayed for flesh not yet decayed. I wept when heaven let them die. That was the outro first, like the song Heaven Let Them Die. Like I wrote it for that. And then we ended up being like, okay, it's like pretty cool for like an album title. I was able to fit it in because I feel like Heaven Let Them Die is sort of like the TLDR of Martyr. And I think that encapsulates the record as a whole for me, because it's like, what do people do when they're at the lowest, right? And it's like, they're like praying and they're like looking up and they're like, well, how could you do this? Like, how could you take this shit away from me? And I think that kind of sums it up. It's cool to be able to write and get that out, but then at the same time singing it every night, I'm just like, God damn it, man. Like, whew, and having to put yourself in that mindset too. Like, I'm generally like all right, and then writing lyrics, it's like I just have to remember the worst shit that's ever happened to me, and then people will give me money at some point, and it's nice. Grief is very complicated.
We're actually friends.
Yeah,
I think
really
that
helps.
helps. Yeah, I think that helps.
Very supportive friend group that also is a band and a business.
For sure.
But first, we're friends, I think, which is awesome.
For me personally, you know, like when everything was happening with Kuma and all that, and, you know, me drinking a lot and all that shit, it's like, yeah, these guys were like, they helped me, you know? And I was like, I want to be better for my friends. Having this in my life has been really helpful.
saved. And with my skin
I think like music has always just been a thing that I've dove into in any aspect, like creatively, technically, even like software stuff, like anything about music. I kind of just am like intrigued and want to learn about it. I'm just trying to like soak up knowledge wherever I can and then apply that to different areas of music to try and just always improve.
Having that in your band is extremely helpful. That's for sure. Like, just having somebody there to be like, I don't want it to sound bad. I want to make sure that it's good is sick.
Seosin, their self-titled record, that really kind of shaped how I approach drums. And like creatively looking at the instrument, I think that was the big one for me. Now when I'm thinking about drums and I'm like looking for inspiration, it just has to be Eloy, who's in Slipknot. Like, guy's an insane drummer. Like, I think he's literally the best in the world. I'm able to learn from watching him, so I think that's really cool.
Max Atlam from Saints Never Surrender, big inspiration, still to this day. Converge, Kurt Ballou, love the way he shreds. And then Ryan Morgan and Stu Ross from Misery Signals, they're the goats, so just gotta rip them off as much as I can.
Yeah.
When I'm writing Counterparts songs, it always goes back to those. For this EP, it was probably the most experimental that we've gotten so far, just going with the heavy direction, but we still tried to throw in the classic Counterparts tricks here and there just to keep it consistent. Other than that, no, we haven't felt the need to try to go any more experimental than we have so far, just because we kind of figured out our sound and we just stick with it. My studio's in my kitchen, so I got my snacks nearby. I kind of treat it like fishing, like I'll just keep on just casting the reel, seeing if anything lands kind of thing. And luckily for the EP, they all came pretty quickly. I had written like 20 demos for a potential full length.
Maybe even more than that.
Oh yeah.
Like now getting that Dropbox, I was like, God damn.
Yeah, now we have like 90 demos. It's insane. But yeah, I initially was writing for a full length with kind of like our original Counterpart sound. And then you pitched the idea to maybe steer in a bit of a heavier direction.
Yeah, just go a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I think after we discussed that as a whole, I think it was like 2 months before we hit the studio, and I just like quickly put together some demos, and then we all collectively kind of like added our own ideas and spins onto it. So yeah, they've kind of warped as we did like pre-production and whatnot. Will listen to the demos and be like, okay, we could change this in and around here. And that's when Tyler or Kyle, Brendan even will come up with be like, oh, here, do this little chug pattern here. Or just like a completely new part here and there. Sporadic, but it all happens during pre-pro when my demos get the surgery done on it. We've been working with Will since what?
2013, I think. Because when we did Hell and Home, we met him and we were trying to figure out who we were going to do a record with. And at that point, I think that we hadn't really done a record where there was like pre-production. It was just kind of like you walk into a room and the guy hits the space bar and you just do the thing. But with Will, it was like, I remember when he was talking about pre-pro, he's like, yeah, like you guys are all going to get in a room here and jam. We're going to work on the songs. And then I'm like, but they're already done. And then he's like, and you have to write your lyrics and like talk every line how it's going to be in the song, and then we can go over it. And I was like, what the hell is happening? I'm like, who does this? And then I'm like, oh, that's just how you make a record. I've got AED, and then when Will is like, we finished drums with Kyle and we'll start vocals tomorrow, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you have lyrics? And I'm like, yeah, man. And then he leaves and I start writing. I don't know, I feel like I need that deadline there. Everybody else I know that, sings in bands and stuff, like they think it's insane that I do this. And like, I know it is for sure, but it's like when you're watching Netflix and you're like scrolling through everything and you're like, oh man, like I could watch anything and I'll watch nothing, And I feel like for me, lyrics, it's the same way. I'm like, well, I want to capture how I'm feeling right now. Maybe I'm talking about something that happened before, but I'm like, this needs to be done by tomorrow at like 2 p.m. So I can't spend all the time in the world fixing it and revising it, because like if I had all the time in the world, like it would just never be done. I try and take that approach and just be like, it could always be better for sure, but it's a moment in time.
Spare no pain and skin. Envy is supposed to cease. Then embrace the way to bleed. Forever, what do you
I remain.
No one to reinject. Praise. No one to reinject.
We're not gonna sound like the Haven't Let Them Die EP forever. That was just a one-off.
With the EP, you can kind of do that because, like, worst case, if everyone's like, this bites, you're like, yeah, it was an EP, bro. Like, it's all good. We're not.
And it was a surprise.
We're not gonna do that, but
It's just a joke.
now it's like we want to write a record that like pops live. Like, we want kids to like go ape shit live. Moving forward, just finding a way to like take those elements and kind of like work it back into what we've always kind of done. That might be even cooler. We'll figure it out when we get to Will's, I guess.